Mediocre Murad has not established a morning routine. Every day he wakes up late, doing things based on emotions, vibes, and so as a result, he makes little progress towards his goals. Meanwhile, exceptional Imran has established the perfect Muslim morning routine where he knows at exactly what time he'll wake up, pray, do the business work, hit that workout, and so what happens? He makes considerable progress towards his goals. Assalamu alaikum, my people. My name's Pablo and I help young Muslim men become productive. Alhamdulillah, over the last 11 months, I've been able to consistently upload every day on various social media platforms. And as a result, I've picked up many productivity tactics along the way. If you want to become an exceptional Imran and transform your life, check out my coaching program, link in the description below. You see, right now in the West, we live in a time of great comfort, where everything is easily accessible. You see, if you want to eat something or drink something, you don't have to go on a hunt. You can literally go to your local supermarket and get potatoes, meat, fruit. You see, we're surrounded by all this technology. All these instant gratification activities are right at our fingertips. And as a result, many of us are lazy, fat, and ill-disciplined, where we wake up late, constantly on our phones, and eat junk food all the time. And it's for this exact reason why you can't make progress towards your goals, because you don't have a good morning routine. You see, if you win the morning, you'll win the day. And if you win the day, you'll win the week. And so on until you win your life. You see, I was always that guy that would wake up late. I'd go to sleep very late, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And so of course, what would happen? I'd wake up at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., feeling groggy, angry, headaches, and so I'd never be able to be productive. I'd always struggle to sit down and do work. There would be many days where I'd wake up at 12 p.m. and by the time I sat down and got my laptop out, it would be 3 p.m., 4 p.m. or even 5 p.m. How did I expect to make progress towards my studies if half the day was gone already? Even when I first became Muslim, I was extremely lazy and unproductive. I'd wake up for Fajr on 2, 3 or 4 hours of sleep and go back to bed and sleep until 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. And I'd barely manage to do uni work or business work. You see, this all changed in October 2023. So I'd been on this quote-unquote self-improvement journey for a couple of months. So in May, I officially began a journey of bettering myself. Like I was trying to eat clean, hit the gym consistently, and make money through a business. However, I hit a wall around mid-August time and entered a rut, which lasted for a couple of months. You see, at the time, I convinced myself I was on self-improvement because I was watching all this content. Yet my diet was terrible, I was inconsistent in the gym, and I was making little progress towards making money. And so one day I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. Time for change. If I continue living like this, I'll end up in a bad place. So I set the goal of posting every day on TikTok and trying to get to 100k followers. And then soon after I was like, you know what? Tomorrow, let me wake up for Fajr, stay up and write scripts. And this is when my life trajectory changed forever, as I felt a mental clarity I've never experienced before. I was doing so much work in such little time. It was unbelievable. I never thought I could do this. And I was like, you know what? I need to do this every day. So from that moment onwards, I'd say around 95% of the mornings, I'd stay up after Fajr and do work. And slowly over time, I'd begin to optimize my morning routine to the extent that I do specific things between different time blocks. So the foundation of a productive Muslim morning routine is Fajr. Salah is the most important thing you can do. I'm not in the dawah scene. I don't claim to be. My Islamic knowledge is minimal, is limited. However, what I do know is that missing Salah is a major sin. So you start your day with Fajr. You wake up, do wudu, pray sunnah, pray fard. The key is to not check your phone or eat anything. This is a time for worship. The only time you can check your phone is to turn off the alarm. You don't even open it for 1 second and check any notifications. So what I recommend is disable all notifications and put your phone on airplane mode. So in this way, when you turn off the alarm, you won't be bombarded by all these notifications. Your mental focus and attention won't be zapped away by pointless notifications. I also recommend you have a cold shower as soon as you wake up. It doesn't have to be 5 or 10 minutes like some Wim Hof. It can be 5, 10 or 15 seconds because you see that small dopamine boost as well as that increased alertness will help you in those early hours of the morning. And it will just make you feel good as soon as you wake up. You see, I was also doing cold showers first thing in the morning. However, I stopped for minor health issues. So in the UK right now, Fajr is around 5 o'clock. So let's say you wake up, have a cold shower, make wudu, pray sunnah and fard. It'll be around 5:20. So from 5:20 for the next hour, you dedicate to working on that big task, that difficult task that moves the needle. So for example, every morning after I pray Fajr, I'll dedicate that first hour to writing a YouTube script. And so whatever your biggest goal is right now, that first hour should be dedicated towards achieving that. The reason for this is when you first wake up, your cerebral power is at the highest. So it'll be much easier to sit down and concentrate on the task at hand. It won't feel like an uphill battle. I also recommend at max, you do an hour and a half, because after that your concentration and productivity levels will drastically reduce. After you've done the first work block, after you've completed the task, the next 10 to 15 minutes is a little break. You get a coffee, you maybe do a shower, whatever the case may be. But the thing you don't do is check your phone or eat anything, because you want to be physically and mentally fasting. You want to be sharp and have that mental clarity. When that break's ended, you need to go back to your desk and start the second work block. And this will probably start at 6:30 and end at 7:30. And this work block is where you also do the most important and difficult tasks. It could be a continuation of the previous tasks or other important tasks that are difficult that need to be done. So for example, I write another YouTube script in this work block. The reason for this is because my cerebral power is still high. I can still produce good quality ideas and thoughts. But the thing is, it all depends on your goals. It's very situational. Whatever your goal is, you need to fit it into the second work block. And so you sit down for an hour and do concentrated work. Whatever the case may be, make it a habit. Make it into your routine. Alright, cool. After the second work block, you have a second coffee or you brush your teeth. Make it a routine, because in this way, everything just becomes easier. Everything becomes second nature. Okay, cool. I work, I do this, then I work again, then I do this. And when that break's finished, you begin your third work block. And by this time, your cerebral power, your mental energy is slowly reducing. And so this work block, you still need to do challenging activities, but not so difficult. So you see this work block, I split it into 30-minute work blocks. So in the first 30 minutes, I'll write short form scripts because they do require mental power, brain power. However, they don't require as much as a long form script. And then the next 30 minutes will be dedicated to editing TikTok videos because it still requires focus and mental energy, but it's not deep work. And so this third work block needs to consist of hard tasks, but not as hard as the first task of the day. The thing is, you need to identify what can be delayed to the third work block, and that's when you do it. And so now we come to the last work block of the productive Muslim morning routine, and that is the exercise block. This should only be an hour, because after an hour, you won't be as effective in your exercise or in your workout. So for me, in this hour, I do weight training. I have my pre-workout, which is fruits and raw honey, and then after that, I hit the weights. However, depending on your fitness goals, it could be a boxing session, it could be running, whatever the case may be, this work block is for exercise. Like for one of my clients, I put him on this protocol where one day he's running and the other day he's doing exercises. And every day at the same time he has a dedicated work block. I personally have a day off on Sundays where I have a rest day and I don't do any exercise. However, if you go to the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week, or you do boxing 3 times a week, it's imperative to do it at the same time every day. So it makes it much easier to go there and show up, because there'll be many times where you can't be asked, you don't feel like it. However, if you go at the same time every day, it minimizes all of this. It'll be second nature to show up at the gym at 9 a.m. every day. You won't have to use discipline or willpower. It becomes a habit. The reason why I recommend doing exercise in the mornings is because it sets your day up for success. You get all these endorphins which boosts your mood throughout the day. You see, if you implement this productive Muslim morning routine, you will achieve all your goals because you're dedicating 2 hours or even 3 hours to deep work. And then you round it off with some exercise. And this can all be done by 10 a.m. And so within the first 4 to 5 hours of the day, you complete all the hardest tasks and do a form of exercise. Of course, if you have to get into work or school or university at certain times, you mold it around your situation. Where maybe you do 1 hour and a half of deep work, then that exercise, or you do 2 blocks of 45 minutes. You need to see depending on your situation. However, take this as a guideline and you'll make considerable progress towards your goals. Remember, productivity is the path to your dream life.